On today's Mondays with Megan, I want to take a moment to honor the victims of the 9/11 attack on the United States this year, 22 years ago. I was old enough to remember the United States before 9/11, and it's never been the same. It took me, though, kind of a long time to really understand the impact and the meaning of this attack. I'm not going to get into the politics or the truth or anything. I have come to some pretty strong opinions that very much differ from, we'll say, the mainstream narrative and what I believed for a very long time. I was 15 when the attack happened, and actually, my high school, I was a sophomore in high school, went into lockdown. All of the public school, the system, Littleton public school system that I was in, went into lockdown, from what I was told. And I was in history class of all places, and we just watched the second plane fly into the tower over and over and over again. So I had no idea what was happening, and the adults around me didn't either, obviously, because they told me things that I don't believe are true now. But the reason that my school went into lockdown, I think I was told this, is because there was a connection. They thought there might have been it because I was in Colorado. Littleton, Colorado is not close to New York at all. It's 2 time zones away, but we were in lockdown because they thought there might have been a connection between the attacks in New York City and Columbine. I was 7 minutes away when the Columbine High School shooting happened. And if you want to know more about that, I can let you know. I've been telling some people about it, and they had no idea. So one of the people I was talking about is in Canada, so I'm pretty sure he wouldn't know. But I think there are a lot of people that don't know the whole story behind Columbine, and I did, not because I was actually I was not at Columbine. I was in lockdown in my middle school, probably in America's first lockdown. But it was because my best friend at the time, her dad was the chief of police and knew a lot of stuff, and he was talking a lot around us, even 2 years after it happened. So years, more than 2 years, years after it happened. So anyway, there's a lot of stuff that I was exposed to about Columbine. There was not a lot of stuff I was exposed to about September 11th. So, but I also grew up, somehow implicitly, I got the message to hate America. And I am really sad about the fact that I spent over 30 years really disliking a country that has afforded more freedom and more human dignity than any other country. And I know those words are really triggering for a lot of people. They were really triggering to me before too, because I was trained, I was hypnotized not to believe it. I was hypnotized to believe that America was awful and destroying other countries and selfish and decadent and this big, bull in a china shop world police that we had no right to be. And for those who are still in the resentment phase of your journey of the country that you were born in, that you were given a lot of rights and privileges just handed to you, I just invite you to look at the good parts about American history too. And I know this is really controversial, and it makes me sad that it's controversial, but I just wanted to honor what happened on September 11th, whether you believe it was an inside job or whether you believe we were attacked from the outside. Whatever you believe about September 11th, our country changed forever after that. I remember being able to meet people at the gate at the airport, and that was such a relief to get off a plane and meet a family member, a friend, someone waiting for you, instead of having to get through a maze of airport, which most airports are, unless you're, in a very tiny one, and having to find your way alone right after you've been on a plane. It's, to me, I see that as just, and you didn't have to take off your shoes. I remember not having to take off your shoes to go through airport security. I remember not feeling like I was being publicly frisked and harassed getting through an airport. And that obviously went away. And as we have seen, the freedoms that are taken in times of emergency are not given back. They are taken away forever, which is why the government likes to declare states of emergency. Also, part of the airport thing is just being able to connect with people without having to, like, having them help you through the airport. I don't know. I find airports overwhelming, completely overwhelming. And that's just one more way that these forces that are at work are trying to isolate, divide, and keep us alone. So it took me a very long time to get to this conclusion. I never thought we deserved an attack. I don't really want to wish attacks. I really don't want to wish attacks on my worst enemy. But today is probably the first September 11th that I am actually feeling the grief of the loss that our country suffered. I didn't personally know anybody who died that day, and I don't know anyone who knows anyone who died that day. But as an American who is actually proud to be an American now, I mean, there are some things that are happening in our country that are extremely embarrassing, like almost everything coming out of the White House. But for the actual history of freedom and fighting against tyranny, which is not to deny the parts of our country's history that were kind of anti-freedom. I am proud to be an American. There's no other country like this. This is an experiment. It's been a 250-year experiment of this kind of government, and that has never happened in the history of the world. So, yeah, I have to say, I am saddened and grieved by this day, by what this day represents to the people who love America and who stand for what America was originally founded to stand for, which is not slavery. It's not oppression. It's anti-oppression. It's standing against tyranny. And that is a heritage I'm proud to claim, which is not in any way to deny the blemishes that our country has in its history. So I'm going to post another Mondays with Megan tomorrow, because when I was planning this content, I didn't really have a strong connection to September 11th, even after I had, come out of the hypnosis that is wokeism. But it hadn't really fully, the import of this day hadn't fully manifested. So I'm going to leave you, with the invitation to consider the amazing parts of this country and to grieve the things that we lost because of power grabs after September 11th, and how we can regain those things. Freedom is not stupid. It's not dangerous. And taking it away will not protect anyone.